an interaction with All India rank. So today we are going to have an interaction with All India ranked 588 Abusaliyakhan Kulakarni. So you see, this person comes from a very disadvantaged background, and with all the difficulties he has faced, and finally he could achieve the success with all the hard work and determination. Finally he has been rewarded with the success. So these all are what success story. We are bringing here through these Topper'S talk a success story in front of you. So all of you are aspiring to become a successful candidate, right? Someday you also want to be here, this side, isn't it? And then talking about your own success story and success strategy. So to inspire you, we have called Abusaliyakhan, and he has done his graduation in agriculture from Simoga. He is basically hailing from Haveri district, and make best use of this opportunity. You are here to resolve your doubt. I won't take much time. We'll call him and let him interact with you. So whatever the doubts you have, please try to resolve your doubt. Don't keep it to yourself, because if you are just keeping to yourself, nobody would know exactly what is there in your mind unless and until you speak about that, right? So yes, I will transfer him. So please welcome him with a big round of applause, Abusaliyakhan. Yes, sir. Please take care, and from here you will take the session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Abusaliyakhan Kulakarni. Ma'am has given enough introduction about me as well. One thing I want to tell you that I have failed multiple times. Keep just attention here. I have failed multiple times and I have recorrected multiple times. That's why I am here. This is the only thing you just remember. The making the mistakes is usual, the common in the preparation, because this is the 1 year, the exam itself, the prelims, mains and the interview. So at this stage, there are you bound to make some mistakes. But the thing is, the earlier you are going to detect your mistake, and then you have to take the corrective actions. That will make a selected person, that will be distinguishing factor towards who is not selected. So for this, as you know, you are from, I think, the foundation batch students. For the prelims, as you know, for the general studies, there are hardly 30 to 40 questions, you know, surely 25 to 30 questions might be. Then afterwards, it's about the guesswork, and it's about like the knowledge, the elimination tricks which you have, that makes you have to take the risk in attempting the questions. Usually there is a question that how many questions should be we should attempt in the prelims, in the GS paper. This is the biggest doubt for anybody. For that, I would say it depends on the strategy. If you have the higher accuracy, then you can attempt 65 to 670 questions. But if you don't have that much of the accuracy, then go with like around 85 to 90 number of the questions, and you have to leave at least like 5 to 10 questions, because 5 to 10 questions which are completely different, that is not known to anybody. Suppose there was question this time on the military ranks was there, the wing commander that was compared with the army, navy and the air force. The persons who are not from the military background, they don't know, obviously this is a very basic fact. And there was another one question on bonobo was there, elk was there, then the Madagascar was some country where the particular species has usually found. These are the strange questions which are strange and very difficult for everybody into the preparation, not just for the first timers. And even the persons who gave the 4 or 5 attempts, even for me, I have left these questions. You have to leave. because they are the bouncer questions. They are bound to make you. That's the aim of the questions, are to just to make you fear about the exam. But you should know the reality of the exam. It is just they are making you to frighten. The version you take, the A, B, C, D, or even any year you take the paper of the UPSC, the initial questions are very very hard, little bit very very hard, or otherwise it would be lengthier one. So in that time you should go with the in the multiple rounds of the answer. Like first go with the questions which are very very easy and very certainly, and even if some questions will be very very lengthy, even if from your field only, they are very very lengthy to like read. Suppose one question was there last time, I think small farmer large field was question was there. I did my graduation in agriculture 4 years. After that I prepared for the 4 years for this preparation. Even though that in the first attempt I did not do that question. Like if you read, there are 4 to 5 lines for the one statement was there, and the fourth statement will be there. 5 to 4, 20 lines are there. Why you are wasting so much of the time to giving the importance to single question, while other questions also carry the same marks? Then go with the questions which are very very short one, even if it's not from your background. Suppose there was question on Korkai. Korkai is what? It is Korkai. It is like ancient port or what? You go with certain questions like that. And there was question on like where the cocoa is being produced. There was some country's name. In that, whenever you are approaching for the prelims, you always pay attention to the extra information which has been given. What is the extra information? There was some question on the waggle dance, the which of the species will do the waggle dance, but there was extra information provided that the waggle dance is done to give a information to the kith and kins of their members for the food or something. The extra information was given. What is the meaning of kith and kin? Means the organism giving the information to the relatives. Means the organism living in a group. You have to find out the answer which are the social animal in that group. Got it? Other options are the butterfly. Butterfly, they wander singly. They don't go in the group. They don't go at all. And moreover, what is the theme of the question? The theme of the question was agriculture. And there are 5 to 6 questions will come from the agriculture only. And what is the like why the UPSC wants and this question is a general studies one, and why the UPSC wants to know you about the butterflies and dragonfly, damselfly. You never knew that one, and you don't need to know at all. What is relevant? What UPSC expect a arts background student and the MBBS student to know about the honeybees? They don't want to know about the dragonflies. Dragonflies is agricultural question that comes in like the second and third year of the agriculture. That's not needed. So always think what is the topic of the question, what is the theme of the question, and what is the relevance. Why the UPSC is asking this question. And regarding the current affairs, some current affairs they are relevant, some are totally irrelevant. They are not at all required for this exam. Suppose the sports section. Whenever we read the newspaper, you need not to go through the sports section. That is very difficult one. And even in the Hindu, there is one section called economics will be there. Some company merged with that, an NCLAT, NCLT, the questions will be there, and some investment happened. That kind of a bigger, deeper economic concept is not needed for this examination. So you have to able to find out the analyze which the part of the newspaper is relevant to you. So you have to for that you have to see the question paper, the PYQ. What has been asked G20? There were the members. The question was there. It's very very basic question. It does not require you to read the newspaper at all. And even again the G20 question was there last year. That some outcome was there. This is the Paris club and the London club was there. That has been outcome of the G20. So what is relevant is you see the very major one. What happened in the UNFCC? What are the outcomes of that one? UNCBD, where it happened and what are the outcomes? Like that, the current affairs are needed to study. And the current affairs like the small civet was asked, the deer was asked whether it is a nocturnal or not. So these are the very strange fact, and nobody is able to identify, nobody able to read that one. First accept that all the questions are need not to be attempted in the UPSC, in the GS. If you attempt all the questions, you will get the negative marking. That you will end up. So there are optimum number of the questions to be attempted. How who will decide the optimum number of the question? That is you itself. In the mock test, what you will do is you first try to identify very very easy questions. What are easy questions for you? Obviously the short statement will be the easy questions for you. 1 line and 2 lines will be easy questions for you. Identify that one. In the mock test, you have to analyze. You have to go with the time management. And second, you have to go with to try to find out what are the easy questions. And the third, like how you will approach the questions which you don't know, where there is a doubt between the two options. Like you have eliminated the 2 options, but the 2 options still left. Like how do you attempt that one? For that, now you have to take a guess. Otherwise, you won't be able to qualify the prelims. because what happens is we know certainly hardly 25 to 30 questions. If you attempt that on 25 to 30 questions, it will be around like 13 to 60 marks. That is not, you won't be able to get qualified. After that, you have to go with the questions where you have the options of the doubts between the two. How you have to do that one, I will tell with respect to the things the later. Suppose, is there anything to write here? Where is the pen? This one. See, when you have the doubt between the two options, now see, suppose the question number 1, you have the doubt between B or C, and suppose you take some random questions like 32 question number, where you have the doubt between the C and D. See, you have the doubt between the options here. So what is the common option here? The C is the common option. See, if you put the option number the C for both, there is high chance that one of them will be definitely correct. There is a high probability. It may not be exactly, but it will definitely. Like if you do these kind of the questions for number of the questions, like hardly 10 to 12. Like suppose if you do the 10 to 12 number of the questions, in that now, as the probability will be at least the 5 to 6 questions will be always correct. That will definitely will do. Like you just try in your the paper, because this is the simple theory of the probability. What is the probability? The theory of the probability we learn. And even there is some called this one, the weather prediction. See how IMD will tell that there is a chance for the rainfall today. How they will tell? They will tell the based on the weighted averages. They tell the movement of the cloud and what happened similar in the last year, and what is happening in and around the district. That will they consider. They are the parameters. They will give particular weightage to particular the parameters. And what about this agricultural prices? How the MSP is decided? You know MSP is deciding every time the government announces. How they announce? See the MSP. So what are the parameters for the last year marks? The last year price and this year production. And third, international prices. See, they will make based on this one only. This is the very basic of the theory of the probability only. It is not something else, and it is a very proven source, and it's a mathematical calculation. So if you go with the option number C, now here there is probability that you might get both the answer correct. At least you will get the one answer correct. If you get the one answer correct, now you will get the +2 here. And what will be here? The minus 0.6, I think maximum. You will get 1.4 at least. You are getting the +1, plus 1.4 marks. See, hardly everybody like who has not qualified the prelims, they are getting around like 85 to like might get 80 marks. Like how much you have to get? At least 100. You have to increase only 20 marks or hardly 10 marks. If you have to increase the 20 marks, means you have to have an edge over the 10 questions only. Number of the questions only 10, nothing more than that. You just practice this one in your mock test wherever you are getting the time. And second, always pay attention to extra information. That I talked about the honeybee, the extra information. Another one was there. The playwright written by the Bhasha was there. This time the question you might have known. See, they asked what is the playwright written by the Bhasha. They did not ask what is the work of the Bhasha. What they are meaning the playwright. They are asking the playwright. Playwright means there should be a dilemma between something. There was one option called Madhyama Vaivoga. What is Madhyama? The middle person. Vaivoga means the dilemma. The other options were Kavya Darshana. Kavya Darshana is the poetry. It does not suit for this one, the playwright. And there was another option, that is the Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra we know it is written by the Bharat Muni. And another option was there. Bhasha was there. The option was the Mahabhasha. Like who will ask the question for the UPSC? The Bhasha, Mahabhasha won't be there. Na? That kind of the easy question never will ask the UPSC. Then only one option left, the Madhyama Yoga. We need not to read for that one. You have to be like very, very pay attention to even minute of the extra information. If at all they wanted to test your knowledge, they would have said what is the work by Bhasha. They would not have said what is the work, what is the playwright written by the Bhasha. Getting? Pay attention to the extra information always. Then second one, you always pay attention when there is a too much easy question. Like what is too much easy question? There was a question on which is the longest border between some countries was there. Argentina and Chile was there. See, when you look into Argentina and Chile, see this is the, if you see the South America, this is Argentina and Chile, right? It is looking at the longest border, but this won't be the easy answer. Getting my point? If at all you thought about the Alaska, you leave the Alaska. There are so many islands between the US and the Canada. So if you consider the islands only, leave the islands. There are many Great Lakes are there. You have seen the Great Lakes. The Superior Lake is there, Lake Erie is there, Lake Ontario is there. There, if you see the border, see this is the, if you say that this is USA, this is Canada, and here too much of the distortions is there, and even here Alaska is there, and leave Alaska, there are see many islands are there. So the border is this one only. Whenever the easy questions comes, now pay attention here. Don't go with the direct, with the instinct. Pay like a the heat of 10 seconds and rethink that one, and you have to answer. Got it? And there is even whenever there is a fact, na, whenever UPSC gives some fact that is India's trade is around 3.2% of the global trade, it is not at all. Like if you are telling any fact, na, there is highly likely that it is not correct. You pay attention to the fact, because India's trade with respect to the global trade, it is around 1.2%, 1.3% only. It is never 3.2%. Think about that. Whenever the fact is given, you have to be careful. And whenever UPSC is explaining the point, na, the points it is explaining, 3 to 4 lines the points will be there. There is probability that it might get correct because they are giving extra information and they are explaining the thing. That will be very, very this one. And whenever they want to make the wrong statement, na, they will put a very short statement. You know this one. You see the statement. If it is a lengthy, then it might be the correct maximum chance. And if it is like short one, pay attention because it might be the negative. What is there, na? There was a question on RTG. There's the reactor was there. Whether it is works on nuclear fission reactor or nuclear fusion reactor. It works on the nuclear fusion, I think. But the examiner, they gave a nuclear fission reactor. Very short statement and very first statement. And there is a question, there is a high chance that it might get, because there is clear-cut demarcation between the fusion and the fission. And even with respect to schemes, the government schemes, land this one digitalization scheme was there. Whether it is the government, that is centrally sponsored or central sector scheme. This was the question. Here, whenever there is a short statement, whenever there is a distinct point, whenever there is a completely the diversion between the correct fact and the wrong fact, there is a high chance that it might get wrong. The pay attention there and give value that at that point. Then see, can we see the question papers? Question papers. PDF I want, any 2022, 2023. See this one. Whenever see this question paper, na, whenever see there are like 3-4 statements are here. See this one. I would go with this question because this is very, very easy one to solve. See this one. The very short statement is there. You don't need to find out the very short statement in every pages. If you open the first page only, you are getting very easy question here. Just go with the easy question. Got it? See, what is asking? About 3/4 of the world's cobalt required for the manufacturing of the batteries for the electric motor vehicles is produced. See, we all know that it's around 80%. I don't know what UPSC has the link with the DRC. Always the DRC will be the answer. Democratic Republic of Congo. And there was one question on the Pantel, the wetland was also there. They asked about the wetland as well. So the answer was the DRC again. So, and this one. Vitarkanika mangroves to see this one, which one of the following the deciduous? See, as we know, I am from the Western Ghat region. The teak, they always shed the leaves. It's a deciduous only. We know that one. And mahua, yeah, jackfruit also. Jackfruit is a evergreen tree. You always get the fruits there. There is no season particular, and there is no particular season, and it is completely like the evergreen tree. It does not shed the thing. See here, and last time there were and this is mahua also shed the tree. I think it is only one the options here, and there was some, and this question largest container port. See, this is in, when you see the India this is, see, they are talking about the largest container port, where there is a deep port. Whenever there is a chance of formation of the deep port, there will be the chances of the largest container port. When you see the Indian geography see, this is the delta, and this is the estuary. Here there is major problem, the dredging will be there. Got it? Here, because the elevation is very, very low, and here the deposition of the soil which is carried by the river is much more. Here there is a low chance of formation of the deep port. How the Vizag will be the largest container port here? It won't be, because this is the estuary here. You got it? Here, because the mighty the Western Ghats are there. When the water is coming from here there is a high chance of formation of the deep port. Whatever the deep ports are there in India, they are here only. It is by the estuary. You got it? This is very basic portion of the geography. It's not of the fact. We think that it's the fact. It's not the fact. It's the thinking. And moreover, this question came because there was a major Post Trust Act. (1963), and it has been revamped with the 2021 Act. See, that's why this question came, the port question. This was in the news, the Major Port Act of 2021, but this was not in the news. They are analyzing the question. It's not directly the whatever has been in the current affairs. It might be. See, again there is a question on the Congo Basin. See, they always ask the Congo Basin. Just prepare with the Congo Basin. And there was one declaration as well, Brazzaville Declaration. You might have heard this one. Can't tell. See, here there is a fact. Fact has been mentioned, 60%. It has been in the news because of the Iran nuclear deal. Iran already attained the nuclear enrichment facility around the 60%. If it is reached to 90%, it is a weapon grade. If it is less than around 10 or 12%, I think less than 10% only, that is required for the electricity production. This is very basic. But whenever UPSC given the fact, just be careful. The most probability that the fact might get wrong. But you have to know that one. But this is because the Iran nuclear deal is the news. And how the people will tell exactly the 60%? You have to tell because we have different kind of a technology. There are technologies where we can use even the seawater for the coal power plants. And there are many technologies are going on. So why only exactly 60%? Think that one. And how will you ascertain exactly it is 60%? If suppose you have taken some ore, and can you able to tell the exact metal content in that is 60%? And what if 60.1% will be there? That's not. If he is giving it the range like 40 to 50%, 60 to 70%, there might be chances it might get correct. But it is not at all. Whenever he is giving the discrete fact, then there is a high chance that it might get wrong. But just be. See, here it was very, very difficult question. This one, the trilateral highway connects Moreh in Manipur and the Chiang Mai in Thailand. Here the town is different, but the country is the same. But it's a very, very factual question. I don't know why the question was asked, but it's too much difficult. And this one, the east-west corridor under the Golden Quadrilateral. See, Golden Quadrilateral never went into Northeast India. Never ever. It is from this one, the Golden Quadrilateral, where it is. See, this is Delhi, this is Bombay, this is Chennai, this is Kolkata. This is the Golden Quadrilateral. It is not entered into Northeast India. You need not to know where it is connects. Got it? This is a basic fact. It seems like it has given a factual question, but it is not. It never entered the Northeast India, the Golden Quadrilateral. So there is no need like which cities have entered. So just pay attention in that. And this one, the marsupial, why this came? Do you know why it came? See what happened in Darjeeling district of West Bengal. There was some the kangaroo which has been entered into this that was smuggled into the Indian territory. That was not usually found, the kangaroo. There was some news. Because of the strange news, it will come. Whenever there is a difficult, completely the out of the box, the news will come. Then there will be the question on the environment. One question was there, the Penanga Andamanensis. Have you heard the name Penanga Andamanensis? It is something, the huge banana tree, the plant was there, herb. That was a very, very the lengthy one, the fruit. That's why, because it's so completely different than the usual thing. That's why they asked. And something was even asked about the beach in Odisha, the varies 2 times the receding will happen. It is a completely different fact than what the usual is. So these kind of the fact will come, but they are the very strange one. You may not able to guess that one. You may not able to even come to the conclusion. You have to leave such questions. You need not worry, because at the exam tension, you won't be able to analyze that questions. So it's better 8 to 10 questions you leave that one, because they are difficult not for you, that for everybody, even for the first attempter and for the many attempts as well. What we usually think that other people are much more knowledgeable than us. So this is not the correct always. We think that the most prestigious universities and the colleges people, they have the better edge. Like we think that IIT people will crack this exam, and we think that the urban city people, like who are in Delhi, they have extra resources, access to the resources, so they are better qualified to qualify this exam. But that's not the case. Always remove the inferiority complex in you, like whether you are from the rural area, whether you are from the vernacular language, the Kannada or any other thing. Don't have that kind of the language, don't kind of have that of the inferiority in you. Never ever. You always believe that you have the potential. Until and unless you believe in yourself, the nobody will believe you. The what matters in the exam is now how many times you fail. That does not matter at all. Many times the people will fail. That's completely fine. I have seen my friends who are in the 6th attempt, and they cross all the stages of the exam, prelims, mains, interview, and they become IAS as well in the 6th attempt, last attempt. So journey of every candidate is completely different. Don't ever compare yourself with somebody else. Like they might have the greater access to the resources, they might coming from the better background, and they might have started earlier as well, like 3 to 4 years before also they might have started, and they might have given, like after 3 to 4 years of the preparation, they might have given the first attempt, and they might tell that they are the first attempter. You don't know where they are coming from, and you don't know how long they have been studying. So never ever compare yourself with anybody, and don't think that you may not qualify the exam. Never ever think that. And don't overthink also, like you are giving the prelims now 15 days later. Don't think that like if I don't clear in this exam, so what will happen. So that will increase the anxiety. That does not serve any purpose. If you think overly, that does not serve any purpose. Your thing is gone. And always when you are using the social media and all, use it like very sparingly, like for your entertainment, for just for like relieving the stress. Obviously we are the human beings, we are not able to study for the 11 and 12 hours. The people tell study 11 to 12 hours. See, after the selection, the people will tell that's become the landmark, that becomes the news. That's not the case. Think and act like a human being. The people will obviously face the boring. If you read the same thing for the entire day, it will be boring. What you will do is like you study the 2 to 3 hours for the polity, and you change the subject 2 to 3 hours for the economy, and you just 1 hour you go the answer writing, the mains answer writing, 1 or 2 questions. Then 1 or 2 times you may go the prelims question paper, 1 or 2, like that. You have to diversify your things, like how you study, text, video, and talking to the people, talking to the mentor. You like do like this. If you do like that and change the subject as well. After the lunch, you may go with the maths questions because that is very boring at the time. You can go with that. In the evening time, you may go with this one, the map based questions. There are already 2 to 3 questions will come from that. You just diversify the way you study and the topic you study. Based on that, you can increase the efficiency of your study hours. That's the case. Just be that. This one, the invasive species. Let's see. Invasive species specialist group that develops the global invasive species database belongs to which of the organization? See, World Wide Fund for the Nature, United Nations World Commission for the Environment. See, we have never heard this one, the statement, the name of this institution, and UN Environment Program. See, this is the organization. This is a government organization. This is a multilateral organization. Why they will produce the science and this on the R&D, the research and development? Why they will do? They have no relevance at all. We always know that IUCN make the research and development. They compile the research and development what has been done, and they will publish on the species. And like what UPSC will expect you to know about the IUCN? Why they will know the UN Commission, the Nation World Commission? They never know this one. It's not been in the news as well. No relevance at all. So just think from the perspective of the relevancy, why the UPSC is asking and what UPSC is expecting from you. They expect you to know the basic fact of all the subjects, economy, polity, everywhere, the basic of the basic things, not something which is out of the box. And see this one, the always question, the some. We have not gone into even the Western Ghats, and we even find out the new species in Meghalaya region, and we have never entered even the Brazil, the Congo basin. So there are many species are there. Whenever there is some, obviously. And how you define this is a medicinal property? If something you drink, even if you drink the tea, and if you tell that it relieves the pain, it relieves the stress, then it's also called a medicine. It's too much. The broad meaning is there. And even the poison. This what is this? Insecticidal bioluminescent. Insecticidal means anything which ward off the insects. If you take the cow dung also, it will ward off some like the ants as well, the termites as well. So there is a very broad meaning. Whenever there is a broad meaning, and like how the UPSC will prove there are no mushrooms which don't have the insecticidal property. It may not prove at all. Like it has to go through so many of the literature and so many of the research and development papers. Then also they can go for the conclusion. Think from the perspective of the UPSC. They don't have any resources. They don't have anything to tell that it's the wrong statement. That's one of the case. This type of the question. See, whenever UPSC is talking about the same concept, see, this is the same concept. And if there are two statements are there, and probability of getting one correct is 100%. There is always one correct and always one wrong. You analyze like any number of the questions where UPSC has talked about the same concept and they have given the two statements. The one statement is correct, one statement is wrong. They always give this like this only. There is one question on the Indian standard flag. The India standard flag, the ratio is 3:2. One statement was there. Another statement was there. India's national flag has the dimension of 600 mm is to 400 mm. This was the fact. Got it? If you have even the common sense, you would have made it correct. See what is the probability of this being correct? 3:2. It might be correct or it might be wrong. Only two probability are there. You just think it is wrong. You take the probability, it is wrong. See, if you take the wrong, see, you make the ratio here 3:2. If it is wrong, then it also has to be wrong. There is no statement that both the statements are wrong. Nothing. Got it? Just think very, very normally. There is only two probability, right or wrong. If it is wrong, then it has to be wrong, the second statement. And there is no option at all that both the statements are wrong. There was one statement wrong, one statement is right. So if you think that it's the right one, then it must be false only. That's it. How some it won't like, this will come when you analyze 3 to 4 question paper, the PYQ. Just always pay attention to the question and the language which the UPSC is using. When you see the questions again and again, you will come to know. Because I have analyzed like 5 to 10 years question paper, and after that only I have, like what happened in first and second attempt was I was not getting good marks in the GS. I was hardly getting 60-65 questions only. I was attempting only questions which I am sure in. Wherever I was sure, I was attempting only that one. I never attempted the question where I had the doubt between even the two options. So after that in 2022 and 2021, I started to analyze the question paper. Then I have made this one like extensively. I have done for like 2 to 3 months exclusively for the prelims. After that, I am telling you, it has worked for me for the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, I am getting around 103, 104, 107. And last time, even in the last time, what happened was I had the forest interview in like April 2024, 24th April of 2024. Then we had the prelims like 1.5 months later. So I did not have the time to prepare for the exam. So what I had, whatever I researched about the exam and what I have practiced, the PYQs, that was the purpose. And again this time also I cleared both civil services and the forest cutoff. Got it? So just think about that. This one. See, the small farmer, large field. I did it at the last, because see the number of the lines here, 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 20 lines you have to read to arrive at the single answer. Why you go for this kind of the question? Here, if you read this one, you will get the answer here. Got it? Never have the ego that this is my subject and I should attempt this one. There is no criteria like that. Even if you studied like we have studied the polity, like when you don't get the correct answer for the polity, we will come under the stress that I have studied the polity so much and I am not. That's the nature of the exam itself. Why you are worrying? You have to answer the 50 questions net. If you clear that one, that's it. You have to go with the benchmark only and need not to go with the attitude, nothing, and go with always the fresh mind. That's the ways. And moreover, see, they are talking about the small farmer, large field, resettlement of the large number of the people. See, resettlement of the large number of the people uprooted from their countries due to war, and by giving them the large cultivable land. See, where we have the cultivable land, India does not have the cultivable land itself. How we will give? And what is the Rohingya issue going on? The government is thinking to deport them. So many the illegal immigrants are there. The government is thinking, and the government is thinking to deport. And why the government will bring the new scheme wherein they are allocating such a large cultivable land, that too for this one, the people who came due to the war. Never it is going to happen. And then many marginal farmers organize themselves into groups and harmonize selected agriculture practices. Make a contract. See, make a contract with the corporate body and surrender their land. See, what was the issue of the farm bill? We have read so many articles. What was the apprehension of the farm bill? There was the apprehension that the private sector might take over the land of the farmer. That was the major apprehension. That's why the farm bills were not allowed. So how they can surrender the land? That to the country like in India where the agriculture is the backbone. That won't happen. The very simple fact it is. If you know the newspaper, if you know the basic of the fact, you can. And even there was a question on CDS. The CDS can exercise the military command over the 3 service stars. See, what happened was after the Kargil war, there were like discrepancy. There was like the allegations of the one organization putting on the other. Jammu and Kashmir police said it is the duty of the BSF. BSF said it is the duty of the CAPF, and the CAPF said it is the duty of the army. So then why in the 1991, after the Jaishankar committee, the father of the present, the EAM, they consulted, they said that there is a need of CDS, the one border, one force. There should be single border so that there should be accountability. And they also said to establish the CDS, the Chief of Defence Staff. Why we did not constitute the CDS means because there is a chance of military takeover. The military coup may happen. Because if at all we give the power to the CDS to command the military command over the 3 service stars, then it will have the effect. So that's why we did not constitute the CDS. That was a basic question. So if you eliminate that one, you would get the answer CDS. There is very basic thing which is being asked in the exam. Just pay attention to that one. See, this is again the question. some tribal people in the Niger, in India, use the Niger seed oil for the cooking. See, so many tribal people are there. We don't know where they are living and like how they are cultivating, how they are doing that one. Obviously, that might be correct. There is no doubt in that. Such a statement where there is a probability of being correct is too much high, because we don't know how many tribals are there, where they are doing, and whether they are doing or not. Even if they are doing for the one time, then also it's correct now. Just go with that one. And Niger is cultivated kharif crop. See, any crop can be cultivated any time. Kharif, the Rabi. If you have the climate suitable. We are cultivating the apple in Coimbatore as well, in Ooty as well. We think that apple is a temperate crop, but we are doing the tropical country as well. So there is so much of the technology. See, this is again the basic the questions on the polity. Like sometimes you have to get correct. See, this is very easy question to do. Just do the questions which are very easy one. Don't go for anything which is completely different one. And there's, I think the UPSC has dropped this one, the 34th one. Don't know why. Then this one, see. The chief wildlife warden of the state becomes the governing authority of such forest. Hunting is not allowed in the area. See, hunting has been prohibited in WPA 1972 itself. Leave any area, anywhere you cannot hunt. Suppose the Indian deer is going here, even in the territory, even in like residential area, you cannot hunt. Hunting has been prohibited in 1972 only, the Wildlife Protection Act. So hunting is not allowed in that area. Obviously, they are not allowed anywhere, not just in that area. And then people of such area are allowed to traditional agriculture practice. See, what is the major like threat to the forest now? The forest fires. And even if you see the Northeast India, what is the major one? The jhum cultivation, the shifting cultivation. If you allow the farmers, if you allow the people to go for the traditional agriculture practices, they will go for the slash and burn. How they will allow? How the government will allow? Anywhere they don't allow at all. The shifting cultivation, this is the major one. And then people of the such area are allowed to collect the see, what is the main intention of the FRA Act? The Forest Right Act, they recognizes even the land titles to the tribal people who have been continuously living in the forest area. If the government is giving the land titles, they obviously they will give the right to collect the minor forest produce. So this is very even the mahua flowers are being collected in central India. If you know from central India, Madhya Pradesh, or you can tell, you know. See, Dhanya Kataka is already the PYQ. For the history and art and architecture, you just go with the PYQ, and not just this one. See, you just see this one as well. See, Andhra is there, Gandhara is there, Kalinga is there, Magadha is there. You study about all these things, not just this one. Getting every time what they will do, they will reframe this one as well. The history, science and tech, and even the art and architecture. The questions are highly repetitive, and the questions they reframe. They don't give some extra questions. They are from here only. They will give. Just you read about some very basic fact about this one, where they are located, and just whenever the city is there, ancient city, you just locate where it is there, which state and which river it is. That's enough. That is a very basic one. You just make like the questions like 30 to 40 will be there, the towns and cities and other things. You will get the questions probably from here only. See, again, I was talking that if the UPSC is saying this two statement on the same concept, here this is the stupa. Concept of stupa is Buddhist origin. Concept of stupa was generally repository of the relic. We know that this is in the repository of the relic, but this is not the Buddhist. It was in Greek or somewhere. That's the point. Whenever they are making the same statement about particular concept, there is the chance that one might get correct, one might get wrong. Just have this one time. And even this one, Devara 1, Devara 2. See this one, you have to read this one. What is the Hamira Kavya? What is the Milinda Panno? See, it is just Nagarjuna, not it's a Nagasena. They have made here very minute the thing. If you read the Nagarjuna and if you in the flow you will write mark. So you have to be very careful. They will make this one only, and you read about this one as well. what is this one? The Somadev Suri, what he has written. And the next year they might ask this question, they might reframe from there only. See this one. Carbon fibers, once used, cannot be recycled. See, this is a science and tech question. They are asking, why the UPSC is asking something which is the progressive one. Why they will ask the technology which is not which is outdated. They don't ask the question which is outdated. It is science and tech question. So obviously it should be progressive one. Why the carbon nanotubes are not like recyclable? They are recyclable. If they are the relevant, why they were relevant? They are relevant only if it is progressive one. If it is not progressive, why it will be in the news and why it will be the UPSC want you to know that one. No, this is the basic thing. And this one. In the science and tech now, see, there are these three statements here. Detection of the car crash, which results in the deployment of the airbag almost instantaneously. Then detection of the accidental free fall of the laptop. Then detection of the tilt of the smartphone. See, whether you want to know whether the one of the statement is wrong or correct, see, you just see the inconsistency in between them. You can't, there is no way that you can't distinguish between this statement with the two. There is no way you can tell that this is different from this one. There is nothing, there's just the movement they are telling. You are telling the movement of your smartphone, and this is the laptop when it falls, and this one the car crash. Here all you cannot, they are very, very minute fact. You cannot even distinguish one and the other. You cannot put this one in the one group and you can't put these two in the other group. They either they will come with along and they don't come at all. You just see the inconsistency between these options. There is no inconsistency at all. They have to go with the in one set only, whether they're all the right, all the wrong. That's it. They are always tracking the movement only. And moreover, in the science and tech, the majority of the questions will be all the three. Sometimes now they are giving all the only two are they are giving. One they are making deliberately long, that on the affordable mass transportation. I don't know how it is different, but they have made. And this one, ballistic missile and the Agni. What they will do is they just change this one. See, they are just changing the words here. No. See, ballistic missile and the cruise missile. They are blatantly it is making wrong. Completely it is if you change this one, the completely the statement is changed. Here also, I think they have changed this one. The Cepheids and the nebula. They have interchanged the statement. They will do the most often they will do like this only. And there was one question as well: the high clouds and the low clouds. High clouds and the low clouds. Here also they made the questions like this. They have interchanged that one. The same statement they have made, but they have interchanged the high clouds with the low clouds. There is completely distinctive factor. They are making, if they want to make the question wrong, they are completely making different. That there is no like minor thing. There's a major one. See here also they have given so many facts. The 15 crore. See, if at least one of them is being wrong, then answer is wrong. 15 crore they have given, 24 crore they have given. Investment in the plant machinery. How that will be? There is high chance that it might get wrong. If you make the probability of its being right and being wrong, like how you'll make? There are 3 or 4 statements here, 4 points here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. If one of them is wrong, then it's wrong. The probability of being wrong is too much high. Got it? 3 and probability of being right now, you have to be like, you have to correct in all the facts. That being is very, very low. That is very basic of the probability. If you are marking the 4 questions, there is high probability that you might get 1 or 2 questions correct. It's not that all the 4 questions will be right. It won't happen. That's very, very rare. That's the basic thing of the probability. Microsatellite DNA. See. See this one, the aerial metagenomics they have asked. See this, we know the meta is beyond. What is genomics? Genomics is DNA collection and all other things. It is something that what again is something which is extra than what we are doing with respect to genomics. What we are doing, we are collecting the DNA sample. Suppose we have the blood sample or the hair sample, we are just collecting and we are analyzing the data. Metagenomics means which is we are doing the genomics only, but it is something different, which is something progressive. You think from some progressive angle. See, if you take this option, see avian species. Why only avian species? If it is the metagenomes you are talking about, there is no word called the avian here. There is no word called avian here. Is there any word? Here's the aerial. Aerial might be any species. How we are telling only the, like you will take the sample of the birds. And even if you, like, why the UPSC will ask something question which is only happening in the birds only. Got it? And there is no word at all for the bird there. Aerial is completely different. Metagenomics is beyond the genomics. There is no word of the avian as well. This is a very, very like narrow statement that won't be happen. Then using the airborne devices to collect the blood samples from the moving animals. See, why only animals? Why not the insects? Why not the birds? And why not the plants? They are asking metagenomics. And this one, the sending drones to inaccessible area to collect the plant and animal species from land surfaces and water bodies. See, collecting the DNA samples from air in a habitat at one go. See, this is the collecting the DNA sample. This is the traditional genomics. They are asking metagenomics, completely something beyond the genomics. This suits the best answer than the other one. Even if you don't know what is the definition of that one, you can arrive that one, basic on the things and the language which has been used in the UPSC. See, every time they are asking about the countries in the news. Suppose in the African country, they are asking the same thing, like what is happening in there. If you know at least there where the military coup is happening, where there is some terror groups are there, you just know and locate them. That might be asked. So this time there might be asking some questions on the terror groups, the various terror groups in various part of the country, because the Houthis are there in the news. Hamas already is there in the news. Whatever there is the news, they will ask the question. Last time they asked about what are the bordering countries of Ukraine, because that was too much in the news. So this time they might get the questions like that. See this one. With reference to Indian history, Alexandria, Longhurst, Soberts, and James Burgess, Walter Elliot, what these are. See, if it is the establishment of English press, what I would see, the UPSC exam, it will always think about the nationalism as a perspective. They don't praise ever the British. They don't praise colonial India. Never ever. There was questions on the Raitwari. They will exempt the farmers from collecting the taxes if there is a harsh famine. See, if the British are never compassionate, they were never at all. Why they will compassionate with respect to Indians? They never, even whatever system it might be, Raitwari, Mahalwari, whatever, they never exempted Indians from paying the taxes. They exploited all the ways. How it will be going to correct? That will never. And this one, establishment of the English press in the princely. See, this is the question of the modern India, and this is the independence, the struggle for independence. If it is struggle for independence, it will be from the perspective of the India. If they have given the establishment of Indian press, the vernacular press, that would have been more relevant. The UPSC wants you to know about the vernacular something. We know the Indian Press Act of 1878, the Vernacular Press Act. You know that one. So why it is relevant? And we give the preference to the Swadeshi Act, Swadeshi Movement 1905. We are promoting the nation. This is why the UPSC wants to know English press and what is the relevance at all. The English press, many more English press was there. That does not serve the purpose of Indian independence movement. Why it will? And this one, establishment churches, what it is mean? This is very minor fact. If churches are established, the railway station are established, why they will ask such a question? And construction of the railways in colonial India, we never know these people. We never heard, even we read entire book. And what might be archaeological excavation, that might be. I think Walter Elliot has given somewhere in the book, I read that one. But even if you go with some kind of the common sense, then you can. See this one, what I was talking about, the flag code. The ratio 600 mm, 400 mm, 3:2. If it is wrong, then just take it. And even this in the science history question. One more thing I got to know is in history they never tell all the three. You analyze whatever number of the question paper you want, like 5 to 6 years. They never told in history that all the three are correct. There was another question on the names of the Buddha. What are the names of the Buddha? Tatgata was there, another Nayaputta was there, another some Shakyamuni was there. We know the Shakyamuni, Tatgata are the names, but we don't know whether the Nayaputta are the name of the Buddha or not. And we know the trend of the UPSC. In the ancient history, they never tell all the three are correct. They never tell. They never told at all. In the last 5 to 6 years, they never have. There is high probability that one might be wrong. Just go with the trend. Whenever there is a chance, go with the trend. Otherwise, you go with that one option, what we said, the A and B. Whenever there is a doubt between A and B and some question, some random question number B and C, here the B is common. You go with the B. You do like this 10 or 15 questions. There is high probability that at least 6 will be, 8 will be correct. 6 to 8 will be correct. And another 5 to 6 is wrong. Then also it does not take away the much more marks. It will definitely increase the positive marks for you. You just do it in your the mock test. You have to, what you have to do in the mock test, the time management. In the time management, you can do, see, suppose the 2 hours is there. You divide it, like 1 hour, how many questions you have to do, and another, like last 30 minutes, how many questions you have to do. You just divide like that, then it will be easy for you. Then it will be easy for your assessment as well. Suppose what I used to do is, like in 1 hour I used to like solve around like 70 questions, 60 to 70 questions. You have to just see whether it is correct or not. If there is a lengthy statement, you just leave it, that will come in the second round as well. No need to go, no need to read entire thing. You just read, like one reading is enough. 60 to 70 statements you are making in 1 hour. Na? Another like 1 hour you can make the 30 questions, and remaining where you are lacking the with respect to the clarity, you can do that one. You just make your own strategy. These are the ways to do. I am attending like 70 questions, 60 to 70 questions in 1 hour does not mean that you should do. It means that you can, this is one of the way, you can try it if it is working for you, and you just go with that. Got it? See this one. If you read, US and the EU claim that through this they are trying to bring technological progress and physical productivity under their control. See how extreme statement is there. Why they will take under their control? We are going for the globalization, and how only the two nations they can control the entire progress. Nothing. The technology has been growing much more in China, Korea as well. There is no control. No government can control. So this is totally illogical one. You leave about what you like, whether you know or not, the trade and technology concept. What will happen, like in the UPSC, it is just there is a misconception that there is too much of difficulty. No, it is the common sense. The common sense, you can apply the common sense when you are calm and the patientful. Whenever we read the first statement, the EU and USA have launched a trade and technology council. We think that we have not read this one, and we go for the further questions. No, you need not to go. Here is the catch. Here you have to show the patience, and you have to wait for the 1 more second, and you read the second statement. Whenever there is difficulty in the first statement, whenever you feel that there is one question on Article 109. Article 109 talks about special provision with respect to this one, the joint sum was there, the money bill was there, 109. So whenever we read, we never read 109, we read 108, this is the joint setting. We know 110, we never read 109. So this is the first statement. Whenever you read this first statement, you think that it is not relevant for you, and you go for the next question. No, if you read the second, third statement, you easily could have arrived at the answer. Got it? Show the patience here, and don't ever fear. Exam is not that much difficult. It is very, very easy. It is just the perception that has made that it is being difficult. See this one. The India accounts for 3.2% of the global export of the goods. Like how you will tell exactly 3.2%? It might be 3.1, 3.5. This is very difficult to tell. Whenever UPSC giving the fact, there is always the high probability that it might get wrong. See this one. Home guards are raised under the Home Guards Act and rules of the central government. See, if you think that it is a very factual question, no, it is not factual question. It is a very common sense question. Who makes the rules? acts will be made by the parliament, and the rules and the regulation will be made by the local authorities. The municipalities will be made. That one will be. Why the central government will make the rules? And that is for the home guards. What is the, like where the home guards comes under? They comes under the police. Like the police will be there. The police is the state subject. It is totally controlled by the state government. If the police is controlled by the state government, and if the home guards are under the police, how the home guards will be controlled by the central government? Are you getting the point? That's the thing. We just think what is the relevance, and he is telling that on the role of home guards is to serve as an auxiliary force to the police in maintenance of the internal security. They are telling it's auxiliary force. Means they are like they don't have that much the pay scale. They don't have that much. They are coming as an auxiliary only. Whenever we go for the the road traffic, whenever they are checking your DL, the most people will be from the home guards only. You just observe them. Got it? Whenever they are serving the auxiliary force, how they will control by the rules of the central government, and why the central government will make the rules. Rules will be made by the local authorities. Decentralized governance is there. That if you eliminate that one, you can, to prevent the infiltration, interested bordering home guards have been raised in some states. See, there are so many states are there. So many bordering states are there. If at all they are mentioned in one or the other state, then it's correct. Might have they have posted, and even the marine police are there. Even for the marine police, the home guards act as an auxiliary force. See, some questions on this one. The sports was there. Nobody knows this one. Like answer is only two I know, but I don't know. Like I have not even gone with that one. This on the 44 chess, you don't need to go for again. Like this is the one time they came. This is the bouncer question. You did not to go with one or two questions where you don't know the answer. I still don't know of answer even after attempting the five attempts. And you just see the North Kivu, Ituri, where it comes in. I think it comes in Ethiopia. Just see, and you just read about that one, where the North Kivu comes. Donbass, Syria, Qatar. See, last time they asked about the G20, outcome of the G20. It's very easy. And whenever the current affairs are there, see from the perspective of this one, the relevance, the importance one. That's the miss. And with respect to the CSAT now, what you have to do for the CSAT is you just go with optimum number of the questions, like 40 to 50 questions. Don't go for the more beyond the 50. If you go beyond the 50 now, you don't have the sufficient amount of the time to give for the other questions. When you don't give sufficient amount of time, the probability of getting it wrong is too much high. So just wait for there, give the 10 seconds, 20 seconds extra, but do it right. Their precision matters much more. Where if you have the doubts between the B and C, C and D, you can't go for that one. If you're gone, then you're out of the list. This is for the GS only. And analyze that one. Got it? For the CSAT, you do like you do first the PYQs, what has been asked in the PYQ, you just make a list of that one. Like average the question will be asked, number system will be asked, the very simple question ABCD will be there, there will be the series, they will ask that one, the set will be, either it is the 3 set or the 5 sets only. So every time UPSC gives 3 or 5, if you break into 3 and if you break into the 5, the answer will come out. This is the trend. And even the average will be asked, the teacher will be there, students will be there, if one is removed, how much effect on the average. So you make the very simple fact and you just try that one only, and set theory questions will come. That is very easy to solve. Like if you go with the permutation combination, you have to read from the beginning. If you don't know permutation combination, why? I have never studied the permutation combination, even today. Like whenever I see the CSAT question paper, I see wherever there is a word selection, wherever there is out of this one, I leave this question. You just see from the very well, like if you see here, there is some word in the selection is there. Why are you going to read that one? You just like identify within a fraction of a second whether it is your cup of tea or not. If it is not, then leave it. If you solve the permutation combination question, UPSC won't give you any award. That's it. Even the IIT people, if even in the permutation combination, what happens is, even if you miss a single case, then you are gone. So if the person is making 21 runs, how many 4 and 6s? How you will count that one? That is very easy to count after the exam, not in the exam. You will miss one or the other case. So just go with where you are the comfort in and just put the more extra effort there. Even with respect to mains now, there is a high chance to increase the marks in GS2 and GS4. Got it? And even the optional. But in GS3, they are giving average marks for everybody, 80 to 90. They will give that much only. However you write. So when you know that there is not marks fetching, then why you are putting the effort there? Put the effort accordingly, and put the effort for the optional as well. That is the more mark fetching. And the essay has been like little bit, some may get 80, some may get 130, 140. And actually I prepared well for this time for the essay, but I got around 93 or 90, 94 something. Last time I got, like, I did not write essay at all, but even though that I got 108 something. So there is no, sometimes it happens, but just like we too don't know like what worked well and what worked wrong. So sometimes we are telling just after that one, like we got the rank now, so we are telling we did this one, that might have worked. So that's, always put your effort and try to analyze as per your perspective. And after that, making the strategy, the mocks are always for that one only. You do that one, and this. Then with respect to the fear, see, the major the problem in this exam is the fear. You always say the fear that you are not, like, why the fear comes in first. First of all, you are trying to compare yourself with the somebody else. Like the person has cleared in the one attempt, two attempts, three attempts. Like the person who was with me in the last year, who used to study with me also, but he cleared, but I did not clear. See, the completely, he coming from the different background, he has something different optional, and he might have studied well before you as well. So why are you comparing? There is no two people in this world who are completely same. When you are coming from the different background, if you have different language, if you have different things, and the quality of efforts also different, so don't expect that you will be the same person from them. Don't ever compare. And second, never ever have the inferiority complex. Suppose you are coming from the rural area, agriculture, and this one, the vernacular, and you are here in Bengaluru, the Delhi people will have something other resources. No, never ever have the inferiority complex. Never ever even think that some prestigious university people will qualify and you not. Don't think. Whatever you have done, that's done. You have got the degree, that's enough for the exam. Whatever you have to do now, put the more effort. See, if you put the extra effort, if you're persistent enough, the hard work will always beat whatever the fortune it may be, whatever the luck it may be. Some people tell the UPSC has the luck. This kind of the luck always will be work everywhere. The NEET exam, what is the NEET exam? This is MCQ only. If you're getting 1 mark extra, you are the medical. If you're not, here the UPSC you have to write as well. The mains, that reduces the luck factor. And in the interview you have to tell, that again reduce the luck factor. So how you are telling it's the luck? This kind of luck, if you tell, it works everywhere as well. If you are opening some business and if it is working well, if it is not working well, there also it's a luck factor. How will you tell it's not luck? So always believe in your effort. If you are putting the sincere effort, if you are putting the right strategy, then nobody will stop you. You might not get selected in the first attempt, you will definitely in second. If not in second, third. If not in third, in the fourth, definitely. But don't ever settle for the smaller goal. You will try for one exam for the UPSC, one attempt, second attempt. We think that we are not eligible to crack this exam. We should toward the KPSC. We should go for the PSI exam and some. I'm not telling that they are the wrong, but the thing is that you keep always the higher aim. Whenever you keep the higher aim, you need to put some extra effort, some extra sacrifices you have to make. Then this exam is completely different. That's why it is the unique one. If you know that you are getting so much of the job, and moreover, see, if you are unable to manage yourself, then how can you manage your district? Suppose some riots is happen in the district and you are the district magistrate, how will it happen? If you are unable to control yourself, you are unable to control your fear as well, how it will? Always think like an officer. And if you are putting the some time for the social media, give 1 hour, 2 hours, that's it per one day. Because we are the human beings, we too want the entertainment. You listen to the music or whatever, the YouTube shorts, whatever you want, whatever kind of entertainment you have it, does not matter. But don't allow, like if you are in the room, if you start the YouTube shorts, you will engage here only 3-4 hours, 5 hours, it's gone. After that you will realize, like at the end of the time, it is a business only. What they are getting the views. The content, the creator, he is getting the views, and the YouTube is getting their money. Who is the loser here? You are the loser. And if you are unable to make the decisions for yourself, how will you make the decisions for the country? And you have to forego some little pleasure. Sometimes the little pleasure you have to forego for the bigger one. Like you go for the tea for 1 hour, 2 hours, and you are talking with the people. If you're talking with the people, and you will be here only in the 80 feet road. Got it? You just forego the smaller things to achieve the bigger one. The sacrifice is must. Otherwise, everybody would have been the IAS. Got it? And always believe in your effort. And obviously there is the pressure from the family, that for the marriage and for the employment as well. The people will tell to get the job earlier. Whatever the job you get the earliest. If you get the job earliest, suppose you get the job at the 22 and 23, will you be satisfied? You won't be. You ask any person who have been anywhere after the 10 years, they will tell that I would have given at least one more attempt. They will tell this one. And this regret is much more harsher. You are unable to know this one because you have not gone through this one. Got it? Now I have left with only one attempt. Now I am regretting that 2020, 2021. If at all I had not wandered here in 80 feet road, I would have qualified. But I was not doing 2020, 2021. I did not practice the CSAT. That's what I told. I made so many mistakes and I recorrected it. That's why I am here. Got it? If at all I had not wasted 2020 and 2021, if at all I had studied at least little bit of the CSAT, I would have qualified in earlier attempts also. So you won't get back and you won't realize now. You will realize after 5 years and 10 years. So don't make and don't compare with other people. Like your friends might be get married. My many friends are already got married. They are already having 2 or 3 kids. So if you compare with them, then obviously you will feel bad. But don't compare. That's it. Always believe in yourself. And with respect to the answer copies, whenever you're writing the answer copies, you at least give to your other friends to check it, to verify it. If not the friends, you will feel that array he will make the mockery. See, if you're afraid for this mockery, now see what will happen if you're not showing your answers. If you're not showing your answer to the mentor, you suppose you will get like you have that feeling that I don't want to like get some mockery from some people. What will happen if your exhaust attempts, 6 attempts you are gone, you are not qualified? That mockery will be much more harsher than this one. Here the 2 people might laugh at you. Here might the mentor might laugh at you. 1 time he might laugh, 2 time he might laugh. If you give the 3rd statement again, he won't laugh because you know that you are writing the same answer. Got it? This mockery is very short amount of time. And people will like they will make like excuses something they do. Don't get afraid with that. This is very cheaper, very smaller. When the pain of regret is much more harder, much more harsher than the discipline. If the discipline is you are sitting for the 2 hours, 3 hours, it might get pain. The back pain you might get, you might be missing your friends who are wandering here and there. The pain of discipline will always be there, but the pain of regret will be much more harsher, and you will never compensate that one. You can't be like when you are crossed 33 years of the age, there is no chance at all to go for the UPSC. There is not at all a chance. Got it? And don't search for the external motivation. Today I came, tomorrow another topper will come, the day after another come. After June, July, no one will come. Got it? Then you have to have the internal motivation. You have to know like why you are going for these services. If you know the why you are attending this one, the internal motivation will always be there and sustain for that one. And always have the medium amount of the hours, like 6 to 7 hours, 8 to 8 hours. That's enough. Sometimes you are putting like 10, 12, 13, 14 hours and another day you are sleeping. That's not. Here in the UPSC, since it is a long journey, since for that you need to have the consistency. Even if you are reading the newspaper, see, the people will tell you how to read for 1 year. No. For the prelims, now till the August is the mains. After the August, what you will read? Nothing you will read. 2 months is the gap for this one result. And after getting, just believe me, even after getting the mains result, now you have to read for the interview. Interview, there is nothing much more. You can read within like 1 week or 2 weeks is enough. What is you have to talk. That's what. So now only whenever you are in the preparation, you start for the interview as well. Like see 1 mock interview every day, at least once in a week. You just see 1 mock interview enough. You just see how the person is talking and what the fact he is avoiding and how he is like going through some difficult question, how he is handling some like controversial question. You have to. You can do that one. Like what happen is if the people are not clearing the prelims, they will put extra effort on prelims only. They forget the mains. In the 5th attempt, they clear the prelims, but they fail in the mains. Obviously, you are not prepared. The people will tell you are preparing for the last 5 years. Last 5 years you are preparing for only for prelims. You are not preparing for the mains at all. How it is the 5 years for the mains? It is nothing. Got it? Always prepare for the mains and interview as well simultaneously. You never know when you clear the prelims. And when you clear the prelims, you should be able to clear the mains and interview as well. Got it? This is my aspect. Then and never ever think that what other people will think about you. Never ever think. If there are other people are thinking, means they don't have any job to do. They have so much of the lenience in the time. They are thinking about the other people. Then you should be like, you should be leaving such a people. Don't go with that. And if someone is saying something, they are saying based on the facts. Whatever happened bad to them, they will tell. If they say that some Chandra layout is bad for them, they will tell Chandra layout is bad. That is based on their experience. It's not. And if you tell like some people who like excelled in 5-6 attempts, they did not qualify. See, there are 10 lakh people who are writing for the exam. There are one or the other people, there are completely different will be there. There are so many people who are from Hindi qualified. There are so many people from Kannada who qualified. There are so many doctors qualified. There are so many art students they have qualified. So many in the first attempt qualified. So many in the last attempt qualified. The many sample is there. Sample space is too much high. It matters is what you are looking. That matters. Got it? So if you have any questions, then you can ask. This is end of my side. See, since I did the graduation agriculture, I had my agricultural notes, and I did analyze this one CSE question paper and what is coming, and I wrote like 7 to 8 questions, 7 to 8 papers complete after the prelims, and before the prelims also I wrote around like 4 to 5 the full question paper, like the 3 hours paper. So in nutshell, I have written around 10 papers, like 5 for the paper 1, paper 2, and this one for the CSE na, it is more of the general question they will ask, but for the forest they will ask very specific question. Like in the forest they will ask what is the apple trust, this rust disease, what it is, what is the wheat rust, they will ask like that. But in this one the CSE, they will ask what are the physiological disorders in the horticultural crop. They will ask. They're not asking even particular species, they're asking entire the crop system. That is very different. So go with the question paper, go with that one, write the answers, and always maintain the time. Here also 3 hours is there. You just divide the time. How many questions you have to write within 1 hour? You write 3 to 4 questions, then after see the time. Don't see the time for every question. If you do that one, then one minute is gone. In that you can write another 2 questions. Like 3 to 4 questions you write. After that you just see the time, and you just try to maintain like 1 hour how many questions you have to write. If you do like that, then it will be. Because earlier the most important factor in the examination is earlier you detect your issues, earlier you detect your faults, it is better it will be. So within 1 hour of the paper you are detecting that you are shorter, you are slower in the examination, then there is a high chance that you might get recovered. But if you got to know at the 2.5 hours, only half an hour left and 4 or 5 questions are there, in that the fear only you won't write the exam. I'm telling you, with the fear only, even if you know the 100%, I'm telling 100% you know, there is no doubt at all. Even after that you can't be able to write. The exam is all about the fear, and you have to like alleviate the fear. For that you have to have the strategy, and you should know the certain realities. Here the exam is too much difficult sometimes because of the obviously the 10 lakh 5 lakh people are giving the exam, and ultimately 700 odd are making. So even if however talented you are, even if the minor mistake in one or the other factor, you are gone. In 2021 I got CSAT on 65 questions, 65 marks total. If at all I had not made 2 extra wrong, then also I would have been in the list. The very simple and the minor mistake. We tell it is a minor mistake. No, if at all I had practiced many questions, I would not have done that mistake. Got it? So don't, sometimes the minor mistake will cost you very huge, too much huge. Just pay attention for that. Then any questions? See, the interview is more about this is discussion only. The way you are giving the answer, they will ask the question that from only. The major question will be from your DAF only. Whatever you have written in the DAF, that will ask. Suppose you have written hobby of the mushroom cultivation, they will ask the hobby only, mushroom. And if you tell some very interesting fact of the mushroom, you will get rewarded. Because you are only putting that one. Who else will be putting? What is the hobby of yours? You are only putting that one. If you are putting the hobby, you prepare thoroughly. Even if you are not doing that one, suppose if you are not doing the mushroom cultivation also, you just go through the YouTube video. You see what is there, what are the types of the mushroom. You try to know the different kind of the facts. That will impress the people. That's it. They want to just engage with you. The more and more depth of the knowledge you have, that will suffice. and always know about your name. What is your name? How it is? How your district is there? What are the problems of your district? And they will ask very simple question. If you are made the DM of your district, what you will do? What are the problems of your district? I did the agriculture. They ask what are the issues of agriculture and how you will solve. This is very basic question. And they ask about the Kaladeshi Openayaka University. Who is the Kaladeshi Openayaka? It is the name of your university. You should know who is he. Got it? And my river is there, Kumaduti is there, Tungabhadra is there. They asked about that one, where it originated, how it is, how lengthy it is, where it will go, which is a tributary of this one. Like that they will ask. And they will, if you ask from, I wrote about some NSS also. So they ask about what is NSS, what is the motto of NSS, and how it will work, how it is different from the NCC, how it is different from the army, like this. And what are the qualifications for to join the NSS, and what you did in your NSS. They will ask to tell something which have done something interestingly. You tell something that make you apart. Interview is about all of the discussion. The more you engage in the discussion, the better marks you will get. And moreover, it is not about the fact. It is not about anything. It's more about like how confidently you are telling. If you're telling even the mistakenly you are telling something with the confidence, you will get the better marks. And you always be decisive. If you are given some choice to make the decision, you make the decision. Don't tell that I will take some action will be later. No, you have to take the decision. Then how to take the decision? Based on the fact, objective fact. What is their objective fact? What are the based on the fact only you have to take the decision. It's not that not like the whims and fancies of yours. I'm just liking it, so I will take the decision. No, it's not. That's about the interview. Interview is like if you give the 3 or 4 mark interview, you will come to in the same thing. In the for interview, you can just take a mirror and you just talk for the mirror. You just ask yourself single question, like why you want to join the UPSC. Just simple question. Like what you did in graduation, simple question. And like this another question, like if you are made the DM of your district, what you will do? Simple question is that you try to answer that one. The more you are answering, and you can record your videos as well. You just see your like how you are taking the pause, whether you're taking or not, whether you are telling something controversial. Never ever tell the controversial thing. Never ever tell anything which is against the national security. Whenever there is a choice between national security and the economy, go with the national security. Whenever there is a choice between national security and personal interest, go with the national interest. Obviously, the same code of conduct as you know how to maintain. That's it. Any other?
We are graduating in agriculture. We are taking the option as in the saving. Everybody is saving the marks. Those who are taking the other optionals, they will be getting higher marks compared to the
Agriculture.
Those are taking the same graduation and the optionals.
See, this is just one of the belief and one of the perception, I would say. I have not experienced such things. Even like in the forest mains, I got around 120 and 130 out of 200. That is too much high. So we cannot tell that one. It's like if you what the factor is that you are making the decision based on one person and you are making the 2%. You never know what wrong he did in the exam, and you never know what wrong he told in the interview, actual interview. You are just making the assumption based on the mock interview. You're just making the assumption based on his question papers, the answer writer, which has been written 2 to 3 years before in the actual exam. So how you are making that one? So you cannot tell. Like if there is something like some people will tell that some of the option will be rewarded like particular year. See, this has been the UPSC. Certainly there is no explanation for that. If it is making some one optional is greater, it's like I to again tell it's not the perfect this one. If you have written the answer, you will get the marks. It is all the perception that you will tell. Like I wrote everybody will tell about himself only. I will tell like I would have got 280 in the optional. If at all I have not written that much of the quality, why should I expect 280? I got 244. I can't tell that I did graduation 4 years and after that I studied 4 years, 10 years. I gave the decade for the optional, even though they gave me 244. You might not have written well. That's it. There's no other explanation because the examiner never know who you are, where you came from. So that's it. Anything? See, whenever you want to revise, now there are many methods. Some people will do revise that day only. Whatever they were studying in the end of the day, like in the night, 9 to 10 hours, 9 to 10 o'clock, they revise for the 1 hour, whatever they did. Some people will revise for a 1 week. They will study for the entire week, and Sunday they will keep for the revision. They will do like that. So it depends on like which subject you are in. Like for polity, I know that it's my favorite subject. So I need not to read many things and I need not to revise more things. So whenever there is some fact is there, I used to write here only in the polity only, the book only, and the end of this one. See, this is the polity book. I used to write the here one statement and one statement here downside. Getting whenever I have like doubt here, like whether always I have a doubt that I may miss this fact. So whenever I'm revising, I will revise this one only, this fact only. I'm not reading the entire content here. Got it? When you have the doubt, you can read this one. Even in the modern history, I did the same thing. Spectrum book. In the spectrum book, this is the gap. Here, there are the spaces there. You write one statement here, one statement here, one statement here, one statement. Enough. 4 statements are enough for the entire page, and you can directly see where you are lacking in, and you can just do like that one. I did the modern history same, polity same. I never studied agriculture because I'm same. The agriculture I have been being my optional, and for the CSAT, I have prepared like 4 to 5 like 300 pages book because I'm too much weak in the CSAT. When I know that I'm too much weak in the CSAT, I put very higher extra effort for the CSAT. I have not put for the GS because once I started to qualify in the GS paper 2022, after that I am putting very less amount of the time for the GS. You identify your area, put the time accordingly. That's it you do. Science and technology, I know that it is my strong area because I am also from the science and technology background. So I never study even the concept. In the science and technology, they ask very simple fact. Metaverse is there, Internet of the Things is there. Very basic simple definition. And the batteries, the RTG, the nuclear mission, this one missile, fission, fusion reactor, ballistic missile and the cruise missile. They are very basic fact. Just identify the basic fact. What is the artificial intelligence? What is the application of the term? What is the nanotechnology? What is the application? That's a very basic thing. Don't read too much of the huge book. Don't go for the the PhD material for this one. What will happen to the water 104 degrees Celsius, 106 degrees Celsius? Why you read? Does not require. That's not the demand of the exam. Identify the demand, stick to the question, have the limited materials and study that one only. Don't go for now. This is if you are giving this attempt now, don't give for the no new material now. Hardly 15 days left. You just revise the PYQ. Just revise what you have learned already. That's it. Don't go for new material at all. And always have the patience in the exam. Like just after coming out of the exam now, you will feel that I have this is a very easy question was there. I did not attempt it. At least 3 to 4 questions will always be there for you. You think that I have not read this one statement. You will definitely tell. At least 4 to 5 questions just coming out of the exam hall. This happens with everybody. But for that you need to have the patience. You need to have to see all the questions first. That's why quickly glance to the question paper. Sometimes what happens, the easy question will be at the end. In the CSAT in 2022, I regret now also that last question 70 to 80 questions, 10 questions were there. Out of the 10 questions, if at all I had given at least 1 minute to them, I would have solved at least 4 to 5 questions. Then in 2022 only I would have qualified. That regret is still there. I know still now that one. Got it? Pay attention, keep revise many things and give more test. The more mistake you make here, the better it will be for you only. Got it? Then optional preparation. See, I had separate some of the topic like soil and water management. That was very comfortable area, so I did not make any notes for that. But seed science and technology, I was very weak in that. I made the notes like 3 to 4 pages notes, and at the end also I took the printout of the syllabus of the this one, the optional. There are keywords. I have to mention the keywords because in the exam hall now you have to mention the keywords only. What is has been happening there? Got it? Suppose you are mentioning of the this one education, the reform. You mention the new education policy NEP. That's the way forward. You mention the best practice of the world, like the organic culture in Sikkim. Mention that one. The Palli village panchayat is in Jammu and Kashmir. That's the first carbon neutral panchayat. Mention that one. The Hiware Bajar Gaon in Maharashtra. That is for water management. This is the very best models. Like that you mention. You remember some best models and some case study, something what has happened. And for the education, if you are mention of the Finland, Norway, Sweden, how they are. It's the best practice, na? You just mention some act of the policy. You mention act of the government of India, then this one the policies of the national government and state governments. and some better, like Haryana, it is very good in the sports because of sports policy. Karnataka is better in case of the IT because of the IT policy. They separate. Some state will be excellent in some cases. Mention that one. And the notes you have to make, I made like 3 to 4 pages of this one, the single pages, the A4 sheet, 4 or 5 for entire one on subjects like soil science and technology, 5 pages, and agriculture, basic agriculture, 1 page, the pathology 2 or 3 pages, like that, around like 20 to 30, 40 pages maximum. That is for the last revision. Got it? The making the notes is you just read for the 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. After that you make the notes. Like while you are reading for the first time, you will make the huge quantity of the notes. It is not required. You will tend to write each and every fact. So if you read the 300 pages of the book, you will end up in making 100 pages of the notes. It's not required. So read one again you read 2 times, and 3rd time you make a simple notes. That will be very easy. That's the case. Any other? What else? Particular mock test. Prelims, na? I was lacking the CSAT, I told. I gave around like 8 to 10 this one, the CSAT papers, the full length papers, 2 hours. And that were exactly simulating the same time as well, 2:30 to 4:30, I think. I did the same time because at the time, actually, I had the sleep cycle completely different. My study cycle is completely different from the exam cycle. I studied late night, like I studied whole night till the 4, 5 o'clock, then I sleep. Then I wake up at 11:30, 12 o'clock. This is my usual time. And even in the after the lunch, I take like half an hour, 1 hour break, sleeping. So this is completely different from the what exam. Before 1 week or 2 weeks, I have to change the sleep cycle again, and I have to be active at that stage. So as to give the paper at the same timing only. 8 to 10 papers I did, and for the GS, this attempt I gave around like 2 to 3 papers, but earlier I used to give around 5 to 6. 5 to 6 are enough. Same, you have to do, analyze each and everything, time management, the way to find out the easy questions, and then the way to maximize the marks. This is the guesswork type. You do this one, that will work. Optional, for the mains. How many tests I have given? I give around like 10 full length, 3 hours, like 5 for the paper 1 or 5 for the paper 2. What? Test series for the actually I gave for the Krishna Bokore, there is only one agriculture optional. Now it is there. If you go for the Shankar IS, there is a huge book material is there. It is like around like 500-600 pages of the book. You are unable to read that one. Like for me, I prefer the books which are very precise one, which is very shorter one. You revise, that is better for you, rather than reading. If you read the 10,000 pages of the book one time, that does not matter. If you read 30 pages of the book multiple times, that will serve the purpose. You go with the limited sources and go for the multiple revision, and even write the answer. Sometimes what happens, you know everything, but you are unable to write that one. See, we read the Ayushman Bharat, we know everything, but we are not writing that one. You have to write. Who else will write? Got it? And suppose the Mahayana, the Hinayan happened, we know the sect has been happened. We are not writing the answer in our answers. We know objectivity, the transparency, integrity is a part of the thing. We are not writing. Whenever there is a question on the corruption in the GS2 also, we are not mentioning ethical code of conduct. Why you are not mentioning? This is a very simple thing, but you have to mention. That's what it is, right? You might think it is a very silly fact, but the examiner, he might not think. He might tell you that he has not written ethical angle. Got it? Just do like that, and write the answer and circulate it to other people as well, your colleagues. They will identify some of the other things, and then give to the mentor as well. 3 or 4 institute, you just upload your copy and just try to get the mentorship from them, like what I have to incorporate. Then after that you can do. That's it. And
listening is also the multiple revision, less material and multiple revision. So he have highlighted those aspects and highlighted that how strategically we can plan our preparations. It's all about the strategy we adopt, isn't it? The success and failure, the differences between the strategy, and the strategy should be based on the smart work along with the hard work, right? So that is how there is a the small story I keep on telling in my class also. story of a rabbit and tortoise. So in this today's world, a very highly competitive world, and also UPSC, which is a very highly competitive examination, we have to combine the quality of a rabbit and tortoise. We just can't be a tortoise that slow. At the same time, we cannot be so random like a rabbit. Isn't it? Rabbit was very random, and rabbit was maybe very overconfident, very overconfident about his quality, that he can very easily beat the tortoise. But finally we know who won the race. So for the UPSC, what I personally feel, there has to be a combination of the quality of a rabbit. We have to be fast enough. At the same time, we should have the consistency of the tortoise. We have to maintain the consistency as well. And so I also mentioned you that we can take intermittent break. Intermittent break is very important so that we don't burn out. Right? So I was just trying to summarize what sir has spoken in the session. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to extend my gratitude on behalf of Grace IAS. You had come over here, you gave so much of your time, energy, and enlightened our student. Once again, thank you so much.